Hello, guys. So today we're going to describe the last group of movements in the upper limb. So we're going to describe the movements of your forearm. And these movements, these muscles, the muscles of the forearm, these muscles are crossing the wrist joint and the joints of your hand and fingers. So they're going to, when you pull them anteriorly, they're going to move or flex the wrist or the fingers, and pulling them posteriorly, you're going to extend or hyperextend the wrist or your fingers. So let's see these movements first, just to be everybody on the same page, okay? We already described those movements in chapter 9 and a lot of chapters before, but once again, because I know this is uh, one of the most important part while studying muscles, and one of the parts that I have seen in my students in the past, not you guys, that is more difficult to understand or to fix in there. Again, you have the list in Blackboard. You can access to the list of muscles that we're going to cover this week. This is the group of muscles, and this is the group of surface anatomy landmarks. Use your table. Let's start. So we're going to study these muscles that move the hands and the fingers. And I have included in here the movements of pronation and supination. I'm like, where do I put them? I put them here. So pronation, remember, is the movement when the palm of your hand faces down or inferiorly, and supination is like when you are holding a bowl of soup. Okay, so pronation, you're tipping; supination, you're holding a bowl of soup. Let's watch the video one more time. So this is pronation, and look at this, supination. Okie dokie, done. Let's see the movements at the wrist, okay, at the carpal, radiocarpal joint. So we have flexion in the anterior plane, anatomical position, then extension and hyperextension. This is abduction. Let me pause this. Okay, abduction or abduction is in there. I don't know why it has the thumb or the pollex adducted, but remember, it's on the same side of the radius. So that's laterally, that's abduction, moving it away from your body. So this is abduction, okay? Easier in here, even, I guess this name is even easier. We call it radial deviation, okay? You can use either one. And the opposite movement, so what we're going to see now, adduction is towards the midline, so towards the ulnar side, and we call it ulnar deviation. That is ulnar deviation or adduction. Okay? So flexion, extension. Okay, you can call this extension or hyperextension. Abduction or radial deviation, adduction or ulnar deviation. Let's see the next one. We're going to see the movements of the fingers. Okay, so look at the flexion of the fingers. Now, in here, they're flexing only the carpal, your knuckles, right? The metacarpal metaphalangeal joint, okay? But you can flex also your fingers at the proximal and distal interphalangeal joints. Same thing with extension, okay? So flexion, and here is extension going back to anatomical position. Now, pay attention to, okay, sorry. Well, this goes, pay attention to abduction and adduction of the fingers. Look how the middle finger stays in the same place. Okay, abduction, see, you spread or you separate or open up your index, okay, laterally, and your fourth and fifth finger medially. The third finger usually stays in the same place, okay? And then we have adduction. You just bring them close together. And the movements of the thumb that they're different from the movements of your digits 2 through 5. So let's see first the picture, and then maybe you can, because the video honestly is not that good in the app. So look, flexion. So this is flexion, okay, of the thumb, like move it into your palm, and moving the thumb laterally, that's extension. Flexion, extension. Now looking the abduction and adduction. Abduction, you move it to the frontal plane, okay, right in front of you. And this is adduction. So adduction, adduction, abduction, adduction. Look at it like this, abduction, adduction. And opposition, remember, is when you touch the other fingers. Now let's see the video. Flexion. In here he's just flexing the the interphalangeal joint. Okay, extension. Let's put it again. Flexion. Okay. Now extension is this one. Abduction, see, anteriorly. Adduction posteriorly, and opposition touching the other fingertips. Now, in the next video, now we're going to start describing the muscles that are doing all of those movements. We're going to divide the forearm into compartments. See you!